I want to do one of those, but before I do that, let me apologize to any Italian Americans in the audience. I'm not that good at doing an Italian accent, but being from Scotland, I just now learned to talk like y'all, so please, give me a break. Well, 52 years of learning. This one's for our good buddy, Mr. Greg Germain. Rosa was her name, and I still cry in vain. My world won't be the same since she's gone from me. I went down to visit the grave of an old friend of mine down at the cemetery. While I was down there, I saw this little man with a big old rose leaning over a little tiny grave, just crying his eyes out. He was so sad. So I walked by the fella and put my hand on his shoulder to try to comfort him a little bit. And he said, what's the problem, sir? What can I do to help you out? And this little foreign man looked up at me and told me this story, and this is the way he told it. You see, boss, I got a little girl, her name is Rosa. And the other day, I was walking down the street and I see a flower shop. And I walk in and I say, hey, boss, how about you give me, how much she charged me for a single red rose? And the store man, he looked at me real mean. He said, $1. And I said, that's a lot of money, sir. That's too much for me. And I stood there for a moment, and this pretty blonde American woman walked in with the nice big bazoomas. And she said, hey, how much for one red rose? And he said, 10 cents for you, baby. So he sold her the rose for 10 cents. He charged me $1. I said, hey, what for you charging me $1? And you charge this lady with the big mahogany dog it's only 10 cents. What's the deal? And he said, well, I'll tell you what. You tell me a story why you want this rose. And if it's a good story, I'll give you the rose. So this is what I told him. Boss, I work down at the factory. I only make a $3 a day. That's minimum wage back then. And every day I come home from work, and my little girl Rosa, she's about this tall. She wait for me. When I come running up, she jump in my arms and she go, Papa. And I say, Rosa. And she said, Papa. And I say, Rosa. And then one day I was coming home from work, and I didn't see my little Rosa. And I looked and looked, I couldn't see her. And I looked down by the railroad tracks, and there was a bigger crowd of people. So I walked down there and I pushed the people this way, and I pushed the people that way, and I pushed the people this way, and I pushed the people that way. And there lying on the railroad tracks was my little Rosa, dead. So I want this rose, sir, to put on my little Rosa's grave. Well, the man just looked at me. He no say a word. And he gave me the rose. He said, this is free for you, sir, for your little Rosa. And I looked at him and I was just so happy. Because my little Rosa, she loved the roses. I said, thank you, sir. Thank you, boss. Thank you very, very much. I'm so pleased. Thank you, boss. Thank you so much. And though she's gone, you see,